Alright, let's just get into this because my head is on absolute fucking Mars, and to be quite honest, I don't want to talk about this game longer than I have to, so I'm not going to. Let me get my checks done and then we'll get into the bulk of this because, yeah, I do have some things I want to talk about, and yeah, let me pop that out, get my chat up, things like that. This game was frustrating. We always knew it was going to be frustrating, but the game was frustrating to me, not for the actual football that was played, but pretty much everything that wasn't football that was played. And as you can tell from the title and from the thumbnail, yeah, this was not a football match. This just did not feel like a football match, and so I don't want to get too annoyed, but like I'm genuinely just sitting here like, what how is this allowed to happen? It's in the big year of 2024. We get games where I genuinely do not think the ball was in play for more than about 30 minutes of this game. Genuinely. I'll have to actually, I hope to actually get the statistics for that at some point. But yeah, that's one of the things which I'm going to get into a little bit more when we kind of talk about this. But this is frustrating. It is a point. I'll say that it's a point. So it's not a loss, even though it feels like a loss. It always feels like a loss whenever we play these bastards. But there we go. Let's hit the intro and we'll get straight into this. Lads, lasses, and the rest of the masses, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mono from Mono CFC, and welcome to Season 2 of Feeling Blue. Let's go. Alright, welcome, lads and lasses, to Feeling Blue once again. As always, I am going to go from left to right, though we kind of only have things in good and only have things in bad. There's not any mediums. However, I have only got 6 points. I usually have 7 for these episodes, so if you guys want to come up with a 7th point at the end, then we can do that. And then obviously we'll vote for the true blue after we do that. I'm debating whether to go just straight away rip off the band-aid and just get all the bads out of the way first, so then I can be a bit more positive at the end of this episode. No, let's start with a couple of goods, because I do have more goods than bads, which is funny. The first good is someone mentioned this. I think it was Archer mentioned him. It's got to be for Rob Sanchez, because despite him nearly giving away a goal right at the end, despite him possibly could have doing better for the goal that we conceded, he absolutely saved our bacon in the last like 5 minutes of this game. Just complete and utter, just wonderful saves. And it's funny because I was talking about this the other day in the last Feeling Blue, that I said that we really need a goalkeeper that's able to just bail us out when the defense doesn't help out, and yeah, he really did that today. And if it weren't for him, we would have lost this game. We wouldn't have got the 1 point, and that 1 point could be vital. We never know. At the end of the season, it could be the difference between us getting top 4 and not getting top 4, or us getting top 5 and not getting top 5, or even if we somehow miraculously get into a title race. If we get into a title race, then maybe it can decide things like that. So Sanchez, very good. I'm going to go in a similar vein, another defensive player, and I think everyone kind of knew that this player would be going in here because he put in an absolute gladiator's performance at the back today, and that's Levi Colwill. Not only was his passing great, not only did he save certain goals with blocks, like multiple times, but in general, he just completely nullified their attack for the majority of this game. And obviously we knew that they weren't going to... Obviously, we knew that they weren't going to present too much of an attacking threat in terms of being on the ball all the time and creating chances from actual possession, and it was more so going to be from the set pieces, which we did eventually see. And you know what? Actually, I just want to point that out. Can we just talk about the fact that I said in my preview that we can't be giving away free kicks near the halfway line because those deep balls from James Ward-Prowse would lead us to concede goals from set pieces? Guess what happened? A foul which I don't think is even a foul from Jackson, if I'm being honest. I think the referees had an absolute stinker of a game, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, Colwill, exceptional today, and he has actually got himself injured, but I believe he's also suspended for the Liverpool game now because of the kerfuffle. That is one thing I do want to dock him points for, and maybe I could have put him into the medium box for, is the fact that he does like to get involved in scraps all the time, and is a bit of a bozo gene that he has. I think James has the same thing. Him and Reece James are very they like to get into fights for no reason, and it's just like he doesn't need to get involved. I know he's sticking up for his teammate, and I do enjoy the camaraderie that we have there, but it is a bit unnecessary. And obviously he misses the game. Oh, is it Fofana that's suspended? I swear Colwell got a card as well, right? Maybe I'm going crazy. I must just be getting mixed up. But yeah, either way, he shouldn't be getting involved in that scrap. And if he doesn't get into that scrap and that whole situation doesn't happen, I don't think we don't get Cucurella suspended as well, which is a whole nother fucking thing, which I'm going to talk about later. Let's talk about some bads now, and I'm going to be doing this specifically for. Because I'm going on a big rant at the end here. This is specifically for two players that I think really, really underperformed. And I'm going to group them together because I think that these two were just the two standouts of players that were playing poorly today. And I'll always call out bullshit when it happens. Enzo Fernandez and Malo Gusto were absolutely woeful in this game, like genuinely woeful. Enzo not being able to beat the first man from a corner in general is criminal. He should be fined a week's wages for that. So these two are going in there. Fernandez in general, I don't think had a very good game. He made a couple of good passes, a few good deliveries into the box, but he kept giving the ball away, and he just kept getting caught in transition. And this is what I was saying in my preview, and I got a lot of shit in my comments about me saying, like, hey, against this Forest team, we need two defensive midfielders. And I also got a lot of shit for saying, hey, Malo Gusto should be playing on this right wing, and I feel like Gusto would have done much better if he wasn't shoved into midfield. I don't think he suits this inverted role. I don't think he's good enough to play there. I think he's much better when he's bombing down the wing and being an attacking threat than he is being a defensive threat. Gusto got one good block, yeah, but again, I don't think that makes up for the rest of the performance. And yeah, and Fernandez obviously he's so slow getting back in transitions. I genuinely feel that if he wasn't playing and we played Lavia instead, we would have probably won this game. Maybe Lavia could have contributed for us to not concede from the corner, the set piece as well. But yeah, these two just absolutely woeful, and I'm genuinely it's getting to the point now where I think the inversion kind of strategy that we're doing, it works to a point, but we need to kind of settle on there's certain players that should be doing it and certain players that shouldn't. Gusto is one of those players that should not be inverting. This should have been a situation where we played Tosin and we inverted Cucurella. I think that needs to be like the way that we play now. We need to get Tosin on the pitch. We need to get him, Fofana and Colwell playing together, and Cucurella can be the man that inverts because he's much better at it than Gusto is if we are inverting that way. If not, I think we need to be playing Lavia and Caicedo, with Caicedo acting as that kind of right back because he can do that, obviously. I don't think that Gusto would be able to play in the back three. Yeah, hopefully we get Reece back. I genuinely think that Reece would drastically improve this team, because the one thing that I kind of spoke about right at the start of the season when we were kind of predicting how Enzo was going to line up his team and certain players that are going to play in certain positions, I was very confident in the fact that Reece James was going to invert, and we saw it in pre-season. He was inverting, and the thing that James provides in that inverted role that Gusto doesn't is the passing. He is the one outlet that we get from that defensive midfield that can actually pick out a pass and, you know, create danger from nothing pretty much, and Gusto can't do that. Gusto is so much better when he's far up the pitch and able to put balls into the box, and we actually see it in the first half that any single time that Gusto got up high onto the right hand side and kind of did that interchange with Noni Madueke, he was the one that was actually providing threat from that side. And yeah, it's just I just feel like it's a waste of both of these guys to be playing them in positions that just don't suit them, especially Gusto. I think Fernandez in general just had a bit of a bad game, to be honest. I think he usually performs pretty well. That's the Discord popping. Why is it going so late? I have no idea, but there we go. But yeah, I think that he just had generally a bad game rather than it being he doesn't suit the system. Whereas Gusto, I generally think, like, I don't think Gusto has had a single good game this year. I generally do not think he's had a single good game. Yeah, we were wasteful in front of goal as well. That doesn't help. Maybe that could be the 7th point. I haven't actually put that, but I mean, when players come off the bench and they haven't got time to kind of get their goals and do things and like warm up. It's kind of I can't really blame them that much. Let's talk about some more positives. And I did briefly mention him there, so I'm going to be putting him in here. Noni Madueke. Now, he's been getting a lot of criticism lately, rightfully so, I would say, for not passing, being a bit selfish, and in this game he did the same thing. But he does get his goal, and again, I myself was incredibly critical of Madueke in this game. I think that his first half was incredibly frustrating because he just kept shooting for no reason when he could blatantly pass, and it's really frustrating when it's just like, I know what he's trying to do, and he obviously does eventually get the goal. But people are going to say on Twitter, I see a lot of people saying this, like, oh, people are getting on Noni's back for not passing and stuff, but look what happens. See, look, he got a goal. My response to that is that even a broken clock is right twice a day. I think that if this is a situation where, because he keeps shooting, eventually one's going to go in, but it doesn't mean that it's the right decision. Right? It doesn't mean that he should be shooting every time he gets the ball. He really needs to learn how to pass, because there was at least 3 opportunities in that first half where he could have pretty easily dragged it to the back of the box or cut it across to Jackson, and we could have got goals, and we didn't because he was just constantly shooting for no reason, even to the point where he was shooting on his right foot, trying to get it into the top corner on his right foot, and it's like, why are you doing that? It's your weak foot. It's not going to happen. But despite all my criticisms, of course, he does get our goal, and he does get us the point in this game. It's unfortunate that it took us to concede before we actually kicked into gear and actually got our goal. And I think that Sancho is the big reason that Madueke actually gets this goal, because he just blasts it at Sancho. I don't think the goalkeeper could see the ball because Sancho's running across, which is good play from him too. I haven't actually put Sancho in here. I don't think he was that particularly good. I did mention in my preview that I thought that that specific duel between him and Aina was going to be one to watch out for, and it was quite an interesting one. I don't think that he got the better of Aina too many times, but I don't think Aina really like completely silenced Sancho either. Let's talk about the final good before I get into the other stuff, which I'm just going to be mad about. Cole Palmer. Of course, it's Cole Palmer. He gets another assist. At this point, it's kind of a. It's like oh, he's got an assist. Yeah, that's kind of standard. But yeah, Palmer getting an assist in this game, and it's one of those things where he's the only player on the pitch, it seems like, when we have that kind of drop of heads after we concede. It feels like, hey, we're not going to get back into this game, and it feels like a lot of the players feel quite dejected and they look quite defeated. Palmer is never that player. He always thinks that there's a chance, and yeah, he again providing from the corners too, and kind of unfortunate for him to not get a goal. There was a shot late on that he really got close with, things like that. I think he had an overall pretty good game. You know what? I'm gonna, because a lot of you guys have been mentioning it, because I don't have the 7th point, I am gonna put I'm not gonna be too harsh. I'm gonna put them in medium. Let's go for Nkunku. If my thing would stop lagging, that'd be great. I'm going to put Nkunku and Felix as a joint point here, just because they missed their chances. I'm going to put them in medium because, again, I don't think it's their fault. They're coming off the bench, but a lot of you guys have mentioned it. So, yeah, I'll put those in there. Let's go on to the final point, 7th point, and then we can do the poll. And I said I don't want to talk about this too much because it's annoying and I don't like talking about it, but it's these fucking referees, man. Every fucking week I have to talk about these dastardly bastards, and it pisses me off to no end because this is just fucking criminal. This game is fucking criminal. I've put this is not for red cards. I don't have the yellow card one in the document for some reason, so this is for yellow cards. Chris Kavanagh and his 4th official and the people in the VAR room completely fucked this game. Like, completely fucked this game. And it's a travesty that there is 13 minutes minimum of added time, right? 13 minutes. And you think that's bad enough? You think that is bad enough, the fact that they are able to time waste for that fucking long and get that much? That's bad in itself. The fact that they don't get punished for time wasting at all. Matt Sells eventually gets a yellow card right at the end of the game when it doesn't matter. But they were doing this the entire game. All in the first half, all in the second half. Time wasting. We get 13 minutes of 13 minutes minimum. Let's specify that, minimum of 13 minutes. I genuinely do not think that the ball was in play for more than 2 minutes in that 13 minutes. And there was 56 seconds added on to the end of the 13 minutes. What is this game? I generally don't understand it. It's annoying, and it's not just. And I know this is the way that Forest play because they're a shite team, and genuinely I can't wait until the Premier League snaps on them for their fucking FFP shit again and docks them more points, because they're an anti-footballing side, and it's not the tactics that piss me off. I don't mind them being pragmatic and playing on the counter, that's fine. I do mind the time wasting, the play acting, the pretending to be injured, the blatant fouls that are happening that don't get punished, the starting brawls every single game. They're already in trouble with the Premier League for getting rowdy on the touchline and things like that. Obviously, Morgan Gibbs-White getting sent off and Nuno Espirito Santo getting sent off. I think that at the brawl that gets sparked, this is one of the most cynical fouls on Cucurella that I've ever seen. And you've got to remember that one of the defining factors, one of the things they look into for red cards is endangering an opponent. If that tackle on Cucurella is not classed as endangering an opponent, then I don't know what the fuck is, because he has got no intention to go through the ball. He's completely hacked him. He sent him into the technical area, nearly killed Enzo Maresca. That's hyperbole, obviously. And he doesn't get punished for it. And do you want to know the thing which is even more despicable about that? Is despite all of that shit, despite that cynical yellow card challenge, if you could call it a yellow card or a red card challenge, the bloke who makes the tackle doesn't get carded. The bloke that got fucking fouled gets carded and is suspended for our next game in one of our most important fucking games of the season. It's just fucking criminal that these referees do this shit to us every single fucking week. It pisses me off, man. It pisses me off so much, and I talk about it every fucking week. I don't want to talk about these cunts. I want to talk about football. I want to talk about tactics. I want to talk about the good things that our players do, the bad things that our players do, even the fucking medium things that our players do. And I have to talk about these fucking assholes every single fucking week. And it's sickening to me, and I say this every time, that I don't want to know the names of referees. And I shouldn't know the names of referees. No one on this earth should know a name of a referee. They should not be people that we know. They shouldn't be known. They should just be an impartial body that stays in the middle of the pitch, does their job, and shuts the fuck up. And we don't know who they are. That's what it should be. I shouldn't know the name of the referee. I shouldn't know the name of the fourth fucking official and the two linesmen and the fucking fifth bloke who's manning the fucking VAR and the 17 people that are looking at screens and still can't get these decisions right. No players from Forest get carded for that fight, I don't think, genuinely, which is ridiculous because they spark it. And I know that, again, Levi Colwill getting involved when he shouldn't do, but it's that whole brawl starts because of this cynical foul. That, you know what's even more egregious is that James Ward-Prowse, who's on the thumbnail, he gets sent off. That's not a straight red somehow. How the fuck is that not a straight red? He jumps on the ball and grabs it with two hands. If that's not deliberate handball and not denying a goal-scoring opportunity, then what the fuck is? Like, what? How is it a yellow? How is it second yellow? He should be straight suspended. He should miss multiple games for doing that. Because it's cheating. It's blatant cheating. It's not it's a mistimed tackle, so he gets a yellow card or whatever. It's not mistimed. It's deliberate. It's cynical. It's horrific. And it just fucks me off because we already have this situation where it's a frustrating game for us to deal with, right? It's all already an annoying situation for us to have to play through these low blocks and play through the pragmatic teams. And I know, as I said, I don't discredit Forest for their tactics. I'm fine with teams playing low blocks and playing counter-attacking football. That's perfectly fine. If they want to play that way, that's good. But don't add in all the other bullshit, man. Just don't add in all the other fucking wank that goes with it, with all the fucking play acting and the diving and the pretending to be injured for 6 minutes when it's perfectly fucking fine and things like that. It just frustrates me so much because we get these situations, and again, it's one of those situations where we get given a foul on Jackson in the middle of the park, which I don't think is a foul at all because the player has gone down so fucking easily. They get a free kick, it goes to the back post and they score, and then they sit on their fucking laurels for the rest of the game and they shut us out until Madueke obviously gets his equaliser. And it's just, we win this game. We genuinely win this game if the referees are impartial. If the referees do their fucking jobs right, we win this game. And it's annoying because I don't want to have to say that. I don't want to have to say like, hey, I want to be able to say in this game that we were not good enough and we didn't get the 3 points in this game because we weren't good enough. We didn't create the chances. We didn't finish our dinner. We got shut out by Forest. I want to say things like that, but it isn't. It isn't. It's because they get their goal not through good play, but through the fucking referees making a bad decision. And it's annoying. It's just like, why? Like, because they don't score the goal. If they don't get anything from this game, if they don't get given it by the refs, it's just, oh, it's just so annoying. There's situations where Caicedo's getting given fouls for literally being hacked down and things like that. And it's just, oh, it's just, my head's on Mars, as you can probably tell. But yeah, we'll put the poll up. Yeah, again, that's another thing I do want to mention as well. Why the fuck did Blueco allow us to give one of our goalkeepers to the fucking opposition? That annoys me. We get Sells from Strasbourg, obviously goes to Forest and then has an absolute worldie against us. It always happens. We always get worldies against us. Admittedly, I think that Nkunku, for the save that of Nkunku's header, I think Nkunku just needs to do better, but apart from that, we'll get the poll up. Everyone can vote for your true blue, and the 4 players that will go into the box will obviously be the 4 players that are in the good box here. I'm only allowed to add 4 options as always, which is kind of annoying, but there we go. And finally we get Mr. Cole Jermaine Palmer in there. Right, so you guys can vote for that. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee and try and cool my head down. As I said, I don't like getting ranty. I really don't. I don't like getting angry. It's one thing about me that I really do not like. So I like being objective and I like being positive on this channel. It's part of the reason why a lot of the time I don't put things in the bad box, which is which is funny because I do like to give people benefit of the doubt and things like that. But when it's as egregious as this, I just can't help but speak about it. And yeah, I'm gonna be even more cynical on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you can get this kind of content, this kind of ranty bullshit every single day pretty much, because I'm much more unfiltered on there. I have to be a bit more what's the word? I have to be a bit more reserved and a little bit more professional on this platform. But yeah, if you don't follow me on Twitter, links should be in the description, so you can follow me there. I think we're very close to 500 followers on there, so I'd appreciate that. I'll let the poll run for a little bit more whilst I answer some questions. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses on, so reading is really difficult. How do you think that how are our odds at Anfield? I don't think we got an absolute bloody hell, hope in hell of winning that game. If we had Fofana and Cucurella, I think that maybe it would have been a fair game. Maybe we could have been able to play on the transition in a kind of basketball game against Liverpool and get goals that way. And I think that genuinely, I do think that we still have a chance. I'm not saying that we're 100% going to lose, but I feel like it's very difficult now. Because the only thing we've kind of seen that has actually worked against Liverpool, ironically, is ironically against Forest, who did the exact same thing that they just did to us to Liverpool. So there we go. I think the replacements for those two is rather okay though. I will say we get to see Vega obviously come into left back. We get to see Tosin come in at centre back, or maybe Disasi, one of those. Maybe Badiashile. It depends on the setup we want to play. If it's Fofana coming off and we kind of need someone on the right side, I would imagine that Disasi goes there because he's going to play there a bit more. But I would personally put Tosin in. Yeah, I think that if the club are a serious institution, they should be appealing the Cuckoo one 100%, because we never really got confirmation of why Cuckoo got that. I think he got it specifically because it sparked a brawl or whatever. The challenge that was on him sparked a brawl, and they usually just go, oh well, yellow card for you, regardless of who's in the right and who's in the wrong. So I'm assuming that's why they've done that. But as I said, if I was a higher up at the club, which I wish I was, but I'm not. If I was a higher up at the club, I would be banging on the FA's door and demanding that gets overturned, like genuinely like petitioning. So there we go. Right, let's end the poll. I think a lot of you guys have voted already. Let's end it. I think that's a 62% for someone. Who is it? 61% to Robert Sanchez for keeping us in the game. And you know what? I think that's a fair assessment. So he gets the true blue. We can put Palmer up here now. But yeah, so Sanchez is our true blue for today and our player of the match. I think that kind of, I would agree with that, honestly, because I think we lose the game if he's not there. But yeah. This is going to be a difficult game that we come into. What is our actual next game? Because I don't think it's the game at Anfield, is it? I assume we've got another game in the middle, because we kind of have like a Europa Conference League game every single week. Oh no, it is. It is the game at Anfield. It is literally our next game. Okay. So that's on the 20th of October. Oh, we've got a bit of a break, actually. I didn't realise. Of course, we've got the international break, haven't we? That was me being silly. But yeah, we get a little bit of a break. So the preview for the Liverpool game will likely be out on the Saturday beforehand, 7 PM as always. And then we've got Panathinaikos in the Europa Conference League in our match day 2 of 6 in that group. So yeah, the preview for that will be on the Saturday. Thank you guys for hanging out as ever. Despite the anger that we're all feeling, I think we're all in that together. We're just got kind of have to go again. And luckily we do get the 2-week break so we can cool off before we get battered by Liverpool. So there we go. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll hit the outro and you guys have a great evening. I'm going to try and not get angry for the rest of the night. Maybe watch some of the other games. But yeah, peace. And that was just my Feeling Blue match review for this game. I hope to see you here for the next one. But if you can't wait until then, YouTube reckons you'll enjoy one of these 2 videos on screen in the meantime. Thank you guys so much for watching as ever, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues.